Hello everyone, Andy Schwab here with your Farm and Ranch News. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service has proposed a new rule that would update their existing policy on protecting the biological integrity, diversity, and environmental health of lands in the National Wildlife Refuge System. U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service is claiming that these revisions to the policy are necessary to respond to the growing pressures of climate change on refuge system lands and the species. Now, Public Lands Council says the updates to the policy could make it less likely that the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service continues use of grazing as one of the many landscape management tools. Currently, only a small slice of refuge system lands are grazed, since cooperative agricultural practices are only allowed to take place on those landscapes in situations where the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service cannot meet its resource management objectives through the maintenance, management, or mimicking of natural ecosystem processes or functions. PLC says a potential concern is the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service may indeed see the value of expanding grazing in the system and also opt to try to recreate a natural quote-unquote system using examples of bison rather than permitting more grazing of cattle and sheep. Now, this comment period is open for the producers to voice their concerns, which will close on March 4th. And U.S. Senator Steve Daines highlighted World Pulse Day over the weekend by sharing a video on his YouTube channel. The video included the appreciation interview with Shauna Farver of Farver Farms of Scobie. She said Senator Daines, along with the Made in Montana program and the Montana Department of Agriculture, helped get their lentil crusher snack packages on the map after Daines delivered them to D.C. and India on a trade mission. The global recognition of the pulses was started 5 years ago by the General Assembly of the United Nations. Well, we need to take a quick break, but we'll be back in a short bit to look over your ag markets.
We asked Montana farmer Walt Sales about the challenges of mental health in agriculture.
Another drought, there always is. There's always gonna be another something. I grew up in a generation of you pulled yourself up by your bootstraps, but it's become evident is what do you do if you can't even find those bootstraps? If you need to talk to somebody, go to beyondtheweather.com for free counseling for Montana ag producers.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to your Ag News and your markets. Well, the latest Sterling beef profit tracker showed feedlots and packers are both struggling to make a profit among the higher fed cattle prices. Now, despite the increase of $30 a head for the feedlots, cattle feeders are averaging $54 a loss on the per head basis, which, however, is an improvement from the previous week and the month. Now, with a thinning cow herd across the country, feeders will likely continue to struggle to make back their money as the purchase prices are continuing to be elevated. A similar story also could be told for the packer profits, as a small dip in their final product plus the elevated purchase prices has taken the profits where they were taking them from where they were enjoying them for a moment. Now, the influx of the fall sales have also shifted the kill numbers, steers and heifers, while cull cows are feeling lower numbers, while producers try to retain as many cows as possible to rebuild the nation's herd. And cash cattle markets waited until Friday of last week to develop their prices for the week. However, lower head counts was the topic of the week, and the standoff added some optimism to the cattle futures yesterday. Heifers did hold the high head count at St. Onge Livestock on Friday, with price spreads between them and their steer mates. Well, they're about not seeing big swings, that is, on the differences. USDA did note several large packages of banks vaccinated heifers were likely headed back to the breeding programs, with F1 Baldies holding a premium. And sheep markets at Bowman yesterday were put on pause with a seasonal slowdown. A regular sale is scheduled next week, so we'll wait to see what those prices go to. And wheat prices were unable to recoup their losses from last week on the opening session yesterday, but luckily they did hold on to steady prices at the minimum. There's nothing fundamentally new or bullish about the report there, but it's also somewhat encouraging to see the U.S. winter wheat contract stubbornly holding above that support level. There's a look at your ag markets and news. I'm Andy Schwab. Have a great rest of your day.